2077, what makes someone a criminal? Getting caught. In Night City, you can become anyone, anything, if your body can pay the price. So seize the day.
Hello, Instagram.
I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. Run wild. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go.
Welcome to the Memorial eCup Finals pregame show. It's Reed Duthie, pleased to be joined by my broadcast partners for the night, Brandon Scott and Nick Merrick, as we set the stage for the finals of the tournament. And what a long and crazy road it has been to get here. It started on November the 28th with 64 teams from across Canada, every CHL member club involved, plus 4 special guests. And over the last 3 weeks, we've made our way down to just 2 teams still left standing. Lucas Faikowski and the Medicine Hat Tigers, Riley Bizot and the St. John Sea Dogs, and they will battle it out in a best 2 out of 3 tonight. But before we get there, we're going to take a look back at what an incredible tournament this has been. And Brandon, I will go to you first because we have been on this ride now for 3 weeks. The two of us have spent more time together than, well, just about anybody else, I think, in our lives. And what has this experience been like for you?
It's been an amazing tournament so far. It's been a roller coaster, so many ups and downs, so many wonky games. I still remember on the first day, someone scoring on their own net, and then we had Luke Moncada's comeback. It was just an all-around phenomenal tournament, and I, just so happy to see it end. It's almost bittersweet in a way. I wouldn't mind another game or two, but it has to end sometime. And what better way than with these two phenom teams out of the W and the Q, respectively.
And as we get going tonight, Brandon, you and I welcome in Nick Merrick to join us for the first time. You'll have seen Nick as he covered in for a Saturday earlier on in the tournament, did a great job going through 10 games in a single day. We know how tough that can be. Nick, it's a pleasure to have you along for the ride with us here tonight. And what have your thoughts been as you were casting in this tournament? You've been watching this tournament. I know you've been a very enthused onlooker throughout the length of it.
Oh, gentlemen, it's great to be joining you electronically here in the booth. I think the biggest thing for this tournament's just been the fact of how close everyone's come together and how phenomenal of matches we really had online. And these games have been fired up. The players are ready to go. We've seen all the divisions too kind of whittle themselves down. And even looking back at yesterday's coverage into the semifinal round, that you two guys did a tremendous job. All 3 leagues in the CHL represented in the Final Four. That says something about the competition. It sparks everything up. Tonight, of course, only 2 can make it to the finals, a representative from their respective leagues, and should be a phenomenal one here tonight. But it's been just an incredible action from start to finish, a tremendous job putting this entire thing together by our tremendous partners, and of course, the Canadian Hockey League and all of their representatives. Just such a fun way to bring everyone back together. And like you said, Brandon, it's sad that it has to culminate here tonight, and this is going to be the end, but I'm sure we'll see plenty more fun in the future.
Now, Nick, as this tournament has gone along and we've seen Lucas Faikowski really be a dominant force with the Medicine Hat Tigers, the great thing about having you jump in tonight to make this into a 3-man booth is your expertise is in the Western Hockey League. What can you tell us about Lucas Faikowski, maybe from what you've seen of him in the WHL itself that's lent itself to this game?
Well, Spakovsky's been a tremendous player overall, obviously starting with the Vancouver Giants, so has ties in with both. Was a prospect as well, high one to watch in the NHL, got his name going, chance as well with the Team USA national team, so plenty of national implications for this young man on the ice. Now we're seeing that he's doing pretty darn well as behind the controller here on the Memorial eCup. So he's kind of has a bunch of facets to his game. He could play different types of roles for his team. Really shined with Medicine. I thought he did a tremendous job in the top 6. The Tigers are a younger team in this league. They're kind of coming up. They have some big firepower. We're seeing it in this tournament, of course, with the scoring laid by Cole Sillinger. Matt Sogard there in net's been an absolute force. So it's just kind of where Faikowski came into this tournament. I think he looked to his big guns. They've provided for him game in and game out. And here we go on to the finals after quite a few impressive wins, 6 straight to get here, not dropping a single game. So he's basically taking that talent on the ice, bringing it to the online platform here with our PlayStation 4, and really putting on a tremendous show for everyone in the WHL.
And Brandon, on the other side of the coin, Riley Bizot had a similar road to get here. He was very good throughout the tournament, but nobody has benefited more from the change of single elimination to 2 out of 3 in the semifinals than Bizot did. Dropped game 1 10-6, and from there the switch went on. Creed Jones went into another level in net for the St. John Sea Dogs, and Bizot on the sticks was flawless the rest of the way.
Yeah, Riley Bizot, throughout this tournament, he's always been a good player. I don't know if we would even label him as a great player coming in, but he just always found a way. He does gutsy performances. He's not afraid to risk it to get an opportunity. And like you mentioned, in the best 2 out of 3 series, just the in-game adjustments he made were second to none in this tournament. So it's cool to see him kind of develop and change his playing style to better challenge the opponent. So I expect him to maybe brush up a little studying on Lucas and the Medicine Hat, but I expect Riley Bizot to really turn some heads tonight.
Guys, as we look back at this tournament, let's break things down by division and what we saw on the road to get here. Let's begin in the Celtos division, which is the one that Riley Bizot won to get to this point. And he had a pretty good ride through that division. If you pick it up in the second round, going through, and Alexis Lafreniere led Rimouski Oceanic, then through the Lethbridge Hurricanes, and on through the Erie Otters in a tremendous comeback to be able to fight his way into the semifinals. The Celtos was the division that Nick, you tagged in to take pretty much all of in the first round, and you got to see Riley Bizot right from the beginning.
Well, he was incredible off the start. I think Brandon hit it best. He's very good at those in-game adjustments. We saw it in round 1. He's able to keep his composure, and I think one of the big things, too, coming out of the Celtos bracket is the fact that he's had to face every single league. So he's been challenged. There's been good competition throughout. There's no cakewalks in this tournament. We've seen that from the round 1 play. Everyone came here to win it. They're all up for the $1,000 charity prize as well, which we'll get more into later. But it's a good chance for him to kind of reel himself in from yesterday's semifinal performance, knowing that he has two straight wins under his belt, knowing that he's been down and given up as much as 10 goals in a game and still advanced to the finals. So on that weird side, it's going to be a really tremendous match here tonight between just defense versus offense, so to speak, because both teams have kind of had different game plans going in, and it's going to pay off dividends. But it's not surprising that on that first day of seeing Riley perform and getting a quality win in the first round matchup, against the Owen Sound attack that he's able to kind of steamroll his way through the Centos and onto the final.
Brandon, what was your favorite moment from covering through the Celtos on the way to Riley Bizot's division championship?
One of my favorite plays was by Riley Bizot when he took over as the goaltender and did the double pad stack and the poke check that really turned the game around. That resulted in his victory. That kind of like momentum. But something I'll always remember is just Brendan Hoffman in the Erie Otters dressing up as Santa Claus throughout it for his little good luck charm. I thought that was just a great personal touch by him. And again, he's also a very strong player in this game, and I couldn't imagine playing it with a big scruffy white beard.
Nick, anything that stood out from the Celtos division for you?
I think overall, just the level of competition, everything was very close in those games. You didn't see too many blowouts, really any. Everyone was bringing offense. There were a lot of great matches, and I think, of course, if you do have to pick one moment, not to lean off of Brandon, but taking Santa Claus in that one was quality, because this is all about just kind of the characters and the different personalities that we see throughout the CHL. So to see Hoffman have so much fun into that, it kind of just elevates the crowd a little bit, gets a little fun on social media. You see a lot of interaction and engagement with that. But overall, just kind of seeing how the bracket went down too in that Celtos division was huge. To go back a couple of rounds, taking out the Lethbridge Hurricanes, another kind of high-powered attack, and going right from Rimouski to Lethbridge, kind of tough with a team led by Dylan Cousins in Lethbridge. You already had Alexis Lafreniere in the other one. So many alumni coming through this as well. And we'll touch on this during the games, but it's also fun because there's many Memorial Cups really throughout all these brackets, but plenty to go around here in the bottom bracket, if you will, the Celtos bracket, and the St. John Sea Dogs not shy to getting to the Memorial Cup this decade. They've been there plenty of times, and both of our opponents also with the Memorial Cup banner. Now we're going to see which one's going to claim the first Memorial eCup here in 2020.
Yeah, you wonder where that division or where that championship banner will go in one of these buildings. I'm sure they'll be very, very proud of it. I would lean on the same things, guys. I think my favorite moment in that bracket was the comeback by Bizot when he was able to make the comeback on Brandon Hoffman and the Erie Otters to be able to win the division. I think there was a point where we thought the game was over, and he came storming back and was able to knock off Hoffman. And of course, the funniest thing from this division has to be Hoffman wearing the Santa suit all the way through. That was just great work on his part. Let's move into the Sorrento division. It was won by Ty Collins and the Mississauga Steelheads. He had a great tournament going all the way back to his first round matchup where he took on the Windsor Spitfires. He advanced through that to knock off the Barrie Colts, then the Rio-Noranda Huskies, and finally the Vancouver Giants to come through as the division champion. And Brandon, what did you think of the Sorrento division? I think it might have been the one that kind of flew under the radar a little bit out of everything. We talked a lot about the Stinger. The Telluride was heavy competition. The Celtos produced one of the finalists, but I think the Sorrento needs to get some love.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely has that almost slept on mentality to it. But Trevor Longo, he had quite a run with the Vancouver Giants. He had that big win over the Oshawa Generals in Alan McShane, which is very impressive. And then you look at Luke Moncada, of course, the comeback king. I guess that title could go for a couple of players in this tournament, but just that first initial comeback where he was down 5 goals in the opening 10 minutes of the game, and then he somehow stormed the gate and won it. That's something I'm always going to remember about the Sorrento division. And then of course Ty Collins, who really, just to see his progress throughout the tournament, felt like he got better every day since the opening matchup, and he just always found a way to win. Even though he took a slew of penalties, he certainly found a way to turn on the red lights, to say the least.
Nick, what was your favorite moment coming through this division? I know there was a lot of WHL influence in the Sorrento. Vancouver was there. Victoria was there. Portland was in that division. Regina was there as well. What stood out for you from the Sorrento?
There was good performances all throughout. I think one of the highlights from that first round was certainly North Bay putting up 9 goals and showing the little offensive flavor that we were going to see in the games in the weeks to come. And just the whittling down of the bracket. I know I hit it on this earlier, but it's just such a fun environment where typically in the Memorial Cup, the way it's going to run is you'll get the teams matching up at the end once they're in the finals. But since we took it electronically this year. Now with the Memorial eCup, you get to have OHL, WHL matchups, QMJHL, OHL matchups in the first round, and to have that grouping of 16 teams whittle itself down to the final four, it's not surprising, again, to see a representative from the WHL in Vancouver. You have North Bay in the OHL, Reunion Narada, and also Mississauga then, who eventually went on. So all three leagues yet again showing up, and everyone kind of had their own pizzazz. I think the offensive firepower in round one was what I was kind of most intrigued by from this division coming in. But then once you see it go on later on, Mississauga was kind of that team that took the reins, and Ty did a tremendous job of riding it all the way onto the semifinal round, just falling barely short, running into a tough task. But it would have been fun if this Final Four almost went Memorial Cup style, where you got to have a round robin and really see how it played. Maybe something in the future as well that could happen. But I agree. I think this was a slept-on bracket.
Let's go to the bracket that was Brandon's favorite pretty much from day one, and that was the Stinger division. And when you go all the way back into the first round for the Stinger, it would eventually come out as Gabriel Bailey-Pelletier, who would make his way through, knocking off the Everett Silvertips. Then the Kitchener Rangers made his way through the Peterborough Petes, and finally the Baie-Comeau Drakkar in a comeback win. It was such a tough division to come out of. And Brandon, you picked this one right from the first time we saw this division, and how close every single game, it seemed like, was between those teams.
Yeah, I know how Nick previously mentioned about maybe seeing like a best of three within the division. This is a division that I would love to see, and I thought the Stinger division had the most talent. Honestly, it was just phenomenal matches since the very beginning. And honestly, there's about like 5 different players I think could have easily came out of this division if given the opportunity. Of course, Blake Murray. They all had strong clubs, and it was really tight contest. Tons of offense with every team, and puck control was definitely something that was dominant throughout this division. It's what I would definitely love to relive and just capture day one again. Like, it was just phenomenal to watch and be a part of. And again, the Stinger division was definitely one of my favorite.
Absolutely. It was a wild contest all the way through right to the end. And final matchup between the Acadie Bathurst Titans and the St. John Sea Dogs that led to where we sit tonight. Nick, when you look back at the Stinger, what stands out?
Well, you guys did a great job of highlighting what's happened recently. I'll take us all the way back to that December 4th, 5th time frame in round one, really with our distinguished guests that were able to join in. Sam Costantino played in this bracket. He was a part of Moncton in round one, and even though it didn't go his way, he was kind of giggling his way through and just got a chance to kind of see how the personalities would show from, of course, the players, then also our 4 guests that joined us. Sam was one of those who knew he was taking a beating in round one, but was laughing it off and had a good time. I think he had a towel over his shoulder too to try to get some little sweat rags going and whatnot. And it was a sweaty affair for him. Moncton moved on. But just kind of from that moment, you could tell that this Stinger division was going to have some fun. They were going to, be able to compete hard, but also laugh it off in the same time, because ultimately it's all about helping to raise some awareness of this and really bringing together a hockey community. When you look back, that's really what this one did as well.
Guys, one last division to talk about, and it was one of heavy hitters. The Telluride. It advances Lucas Faikowski on to the final. And what a division it was right from day one. The Medicine Hat Tigers had to go through the Saskatoon Blades, then through the Hamilton Bulldogs, on through the Saginaw Spirit, and then again through the Mississauga Steelheads to make their way into this final. Lucas Faikowski was absolutely incredible throughout this tournament. He's allowed the fewest goals of any of the final 4 teams heading in. He was able to shut down Danny Caddick and the Saginaw Spirit, who had been unstoppable offensively. He held Zachary Roy and the Hamilton Bulldogs at bay, who had scored 8 goals in their previous game. When you look at this, Brandon, and you see what Lucas Faikowski did in a division that had nothing but heavy hitters, it was nothing short of fantastic.
Exactly. That's what almost gives you Lucas maybe even the favorite coming into this final is just about how good the Telluride actually was, like with all the strong high-end talent. And definitely one of my favorite games of the tournament was between the Saginaw Spirit and the Sarnia Sting there, Justin O'Donnell and Danny Caddick, as those were two offensive guys just going at it. 8-6 final with the Spirit winning. And Danny Caddick was also one of those guys at the beginning where you kind of thought that he could be in the final with just how good offensively he was, which really shows just how well Medicine Hat plays their game, where they only allowed 3 goals to the Spirit, and they had a high-powered offense, and they were averaging at least 5 goals a game coming into that. So that Lucas Faikowski, he's a tremendous player, and of course, Mad Sogard in that is something you can't forget, as he's just been phenomenal. He lights out, and he's huge. It looks like his top of his knee pads would hit the crossbar. That's how big he is.
Oh, that guy's a giant, and he's been unbelievable in this tournament. Giant, both literally and figuratively. Nick, when you look back at this division, I mean, it reminds me of the 1980s in the Adams division of the National Hockey League. There was no weak team in this division, and whoever was going to come out of it had to earn their way through.
Yes, no, without a doubt. And I think one of the moments, easily I could agree that the game of this bracket was for sure between Sarnia and Saginaw, with just the back and forth affair there and a lot of offense throughout. But it really kicked into in game 2 of the entire tournament. People get to tune in. They watched this from the beginning. They were kind of thinking, what's this Memorial eCup going to be all about? Am I going to enjoy it? Is this going to be quick? Is it going to be exciting? We saw the fireworks right off the bat, thanks to the Telluride division. And in game 2, you had Tri-City Americans and the Guelph Storm take it not only to overtime, going to a shootout in round 1, showing that the competition, to back up your point there, Reed, of how tight this one really was from start to finish. I can't believe it got whittled down. Obviously, as good as it can. You see so many 1-goal, 2-goal games, and obviously when you take it to the online platform, anything could change in about a minute's time, where you could score 2 or 3 goals and get right back into it. So for the fans, even seeing 8-6 doesn't seem too close of a game. It is. It's very close. It's the difference of maybe 10 seconds in real life time that these games could have flipped on a dime. So really, Telluride brought it. It's going to be very interesting to see that Medicine Hat makes it out of this division. And now, can they do it? Can they win the 8 that they need to win the Memorial eCup? We're going to find out here momentarily.
We certainly will. Guys, before we get to that, before we get to predictions on what you guys think are going to happen tonight, let's go back and take a look at the highlights of this incredible tournament to sort of put a bow on everything we've been talking about. Spakovsky has been defensively as sound as it comes, and he's been able to put up goals. To his credit, that outburst for Cole Sillinger. 12 and a half to go in the third. Brown feeds across, they score! And that one is going to make this a real hard climb now. Faikowski will turn up ahead. Feeds out in front, and they score! And how many times have we seen that in this tournament? Big save from Sogard at one end, 2-on-1 at the other end, and Corson Hopwell makes it 2-0 Medicine Hat.
I have a feeling this is going to be a last goal win type of game.
It could come right down to who has the last shot for that goal, as well as right off the opening draw in the third. Spakovsky finds Sillinger. It's a 4-3 Medicine Hat lead. We're into semifinals, and we're going to open up best 2 out of 3 tonight, and with Ty Collins and the Mississauga Steelheads challenging Lucas Faikowski and the Medicine Hat Tigers. Medicine Hat retains the 1-0 lead. Clayton over the line for Lochner. Left wing side, in front, they score! And now it'll come out. 3 Tigers attack forward. Chance to goal, and they score! Medicine Hat, they can feel it now. It'll just be a formality now. Face off in the offensive end. The Tigers can start to celebrate. They're going to pick up this semifinal. It's 2 games, and the Medicine Hat Tigers will head to the finals of the Memorial eCup. They just let that little crack in the window for Riley Bizot. I don't think he went through the crack. I think he kicked the window pane out.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely bashed open that window, and he got out of the house, that's for sure.
That one through, and they found it all the way to the net as it stopped a couple of times, and a giveaway in front. The goaltender opted to play. St. John makes them pay. 1-0 Sea Dogs here in period 1.
Puck back in front. They're feeding up the goaltender. Reynolds scores. What a wild hockey game.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. I can't believe what's going on. The juice in the Sea Dogs right now after a magnificent and gutsy move by the goaltender on one end.
Face-off circle against Cousins, and that shot was blocked on the way through. Now driven by Kotkov and score. From the left wing circle, Kotkov unloads onto Leonard for Bizot. Leonard for Rude, stepping down, poked away before he can make a pass. Leonard keeps it onside for Bizot. He scores. Riley Bizot has scored 4 in a row.
Wow, just unbelievable. Riley Bizot uses himself to score to give himself a 1-goal lead.
Tonight, we will decide who will advance to take him on for the Memorial eCup final. Riley Bizot and the St. John Sea Dogs taking on Dylan Champagne and the Acme Bathurst Titans.
Definitely a tough task ahead.
That would be very difficult, and now it's going to be worse. It's 5. Liam Leonard. And we are underway as Joshua Waugh steps up front, and Drouard scores. The right wing cuts to the middle, feeds on for Drouard. Waugh following the play for Kotkov. They score. It's 2-0. A minute 57 into the first period. Bizot shovels it down the rink. 3 seconds remain. 2-1. Puck driven. After dropping game 1, Riley Bizot recovers, wins game 2 with a shutout, and then a 4-2 victory in game 3. The St. John Sea Dogs are off to the final of the Memorial eCup. Well, there you have it. What an incredible tournament this has been. The Memorial eCup presented by Key. And as we get set for the finals, guys, we'll end the pre-show on this. Brandon, I'll come to you first. What's going to happen tonight? Medicine Hat or St. John?
Well, I think we need to buckle up. We're going to be in for a show. I think this is going to go the distance. All 3 games. I think Medicine Hat is going to take that first game, but Riley Bizot, he does it again. He adjusts to Lucas Faikowski, figures him out, and then he's going to find a way, and he's going to seal the deal. After getting slept on, I think, throughout this tournament, Riley Bizot will show up, and we'll take the first Memorial eCup, Reed.
Wow, bold there. Nick, over to you. Are you going with maybe the underdog in Bizot or the guy who's had the spectacular goaltending out of Mad Sogard and Lucas Faikowski?
Gentlemen, this is hard. I don't think it would be fair to predict a winner before we even drop the puck for game 1. But I think both teams really have a chance here. Riley Bizot coming in, having that advantage of already dropping a game, which you could take the side that helps him. That kind of settles him down, gets him back into the tournament. Knowing that you could turn a loss into a 6-0 win is going to be key going into this finals here tonight. And then on the other side for for Medicine Hat, Lucas Spakovsky, my apologies. Spakovsky already knows he steamrolled through this one. He's been tested, but also there's that mental element. Has he been tested enough? Will he have enough to get through this? He's been very defensive-minded. He's scored the big goals late, but it's going to take a quicker start here tonight against Bizot to try to get the track. I'm just going to back up with Brandon and say this one's going to go 3 games.
All right, there we go. 3 games is the prediction from both Nick Merrick and Brandon Scott. What am I going to tell you? Well, you're going to need to pop the popcorn, get to the fridge, get the drinks, get to the edge of your seat on the couch, because when we come back, the Memorial eCup final, the St. John Sea Dogs, the Medicine Hat Tigers gets underway. It's next.
Hello, Instagram.
I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go.
For 60 teams across North America, pursuit of this trophy is at the top of their list. It's a goal they aim for when they first pull on a team jersey. It's not an easy road, from training camp to the grind of the regular season, the hopes of a long playoff run leading to a league championship. This 9-month journey brings out the best, and all focus is on the final step. If the Stanley Cup is the holy grail for the National Hockey League, the Memorial Cup is the elusive prize for junior hockey. Weighing just over 40 pounds, this symbol of excellence is engraved with over 3,000 names that tell a story of the young men who have competed for it. Young hockey players have dreamt of winning this title, of being named champion. Icons of the game have challenged for it, but fell short. The cup was first handed out in 1919 to honor and remember those that gave their lives fighting World War I. In 2010, the Canadian Hockey League rededicated it to the memory of all fallen Canadian military personnel. For many players, this is the summit, the best they will ever be, the highest mountain they will conquer. For others, it will be a chapter in a career about to unfold at another level. The list of winners is impressive. Powerhouse teams that delivered. Surprise teams that weren't expected to contend. Teams that simply went about their business on the ice. All were waiting for those final seconds to tick off, and the burst of emotion realizing they are the champions. When a hockey dream can become a reality, it is the Memorial Cup.
Welcome to the Memorial eCup presented by Kia. One more time tonight. It is the finals, the big one. Best 2 out of 3 as the Medicine Hat Tigers, led by Lucas Faikowski, will take on the St. John Sea Dogs, piloted by Riley Bizot. It's Reed Duthie, and boy, can you tell it's a big fight field tonight, because we've got both Brandon Scott and Nick Merrick on the broadcast tonight. Guys, welcome in, and Nick, for the first time, you and I will be working together, going play-by-play in color, and I'm very excited to be on the broadcast with you. Welcome in, and what a night to join into this crew.
I'm thrilled to be with you both, gentlemen, and honestly, this is going to be a whole lot of fun tonight. Quick hockey, action-packed, plenty of goals, tremendous saves. You're going to get a little bit of everything, all compact into about an hour and a half max window. So this is what it's all about, and also the fact that we get to kind of cross our paths, too, with the Western Hockey League and the Ontario Hockey League and get to share a booth virtually. It wouldn't happen for us unless we're in the Memorial Cup or we're in the Memorial eCup. So I'm glad to be alongside for the fun ride, gentlemen.
Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. And Brandon, you, myself, and our producer Pascal have essentially been roommates for the past 3 weeks. We've seen just about everything in this tournament. What are your thoughts as we get down to the last night?
Well, yeah, it's certainly going to take a good week or two to get Pascal's voice out of my head at the end of this. But it's just been a tremendous ride, and I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top. There were so many great players that played in this tournament that you think could have hoisted the eCup at the end of it, but now we're down to 2, and I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top.
Nick, you made a great point in our pregame show when you talked about the parity across Canada. And in the Final Four, all 3 leagues were represented. Now, you can't have 3 teams in the final, but we do have a Q team taking on a W team. And you got to say that clear across the country, we have had the highest level of competition. Every team wanted a piece of this Memorial eCup.
Oh, without a doubt. That's the pride and joy of this tournament, trying to take home the title and bring some bring a championship back to your hometown, to your team, to your league, everything. The fans that have been throughout this entire process are having a blast. And again, just to reiterate, these 2 programs have been to the Memorial Cup plenty of times. St. John most recently won it in 2017. You look over at Medicine Hat Tigers back-to-back in the late 80s, 87, 88. Trevor Linden on that team. Not too shabby of a name there.
Yeah, that's a pretty classic name, especially for fans out west. as we get set. Game 1 in Medicine Hat. Kotkov and Sillinger stand in for the draw, and it'll be one back to Baker. Stepping up to Clayton as they work their way across the offensive blue line. Faikowski to the slot for Sillinger, and it's an early one. It took just 40 seconds. Cole Sillinger continues the hot hand. 1-0 Medicine Hat.
Silent me if we've seen this one before, but right off of face-off to start a period, Medicine Hat wasting no time. Spakovsky with himself and Clayton able to work the puck in deep. Sillinger was cutting behind the defense right in front of the crease. Jones unable to make the save. He made a desperation dive just seconds into this one, and already a 1-0 Medicine Hat Tigers lead. Has to bode well for Spakovsky early, and we're going to wait what Brandon was calling, see if we get that Riley Bezo adjustment here moving forward.
Yeah, he has been awesome at that throughout this tournament, and maybe we'll get Brandon's opinion on a change or two in an intermission coming up here. But Nick, as we move forward, you talked in the pregame about Medicine Hat being a young team, but they are so talented.
Oh, without a doubt. They're stacked throughout. They're very deep, and they show it right there.
Cole Sillinger, for the second time in under a minute, has a second. 2-0 Tigers.
Just a really good rush up the right wing. Found the 2-on-1, broke away behind the defense. Holding forehand, waiting, sliding it over, and Cole Sillinger with a little nice tuck there, just underneath the blocker hand, past the outstretched leg. 2 quick Genos for Sillinger. It's going to be a name that NHL personalities are going to be knowing in no time as well. So he shines at the biggest stage.
Spakovsky and Clayton pick up the assists on that goal. Jeremy Poirier with a nice press to the boards on Chisowski. Puck will be played across the zone, but picked off. Spakovsky, chance for Chisowski, just sent wide. Oh, it was nearly 3, Nick.
Well, this is all Medicine Hat already off the bat. Riley's got to get right back into it. He has a nice rush going here, which will certainly help.
Kotkov into the left wing corner. It'll be taken there by Joshua Waugh. Out front looking for Drouin, and that one just went off target. Chisowski now for Spakovsky. Has Sillinger to the middle of the ice. Back for Spakovsky, and there's a huge stop from Creed Jones. Puck back to the line. Baker hangs on for Clayton, who steps down, stick into his skates, and all Medicine Hat piling up the opportunities, and they're not going to need the power play. Backdoor, Sillinger returns the favor to Chisowski. It's 3-0 Tigers.
Well, the top line stayed fresh. They did their job. Clayton with another helper. Chisowski, the beneficiary here of a tremendous feed from behind the red line to in front of the net, through the slot. Nobody picked up that man. Want to see it collapse a little bit more. There's the defense not quite staying onto the hip, and that guy got loose. Jones just seeing a barrage of shots here early. We need the St. John Sea Dogs and Riley Bezo to come back with a counter. They are still very, very much in this. We saw how quickly the Medicine Hat Tigers just scored 3. You could expect a similar push if you're St. John and Riley Bezo right now.
The best change that Medicine Hat made in this tournament is Lawrence steps forward for Reynolds. That one kicked aside by Sogard. It was made before the first game of the tournament. The default lines didn't have Lucas Faikowski on the top unit for Medicine Hat. He put himself there, and that line has been nothing short of magical for the Medicine Hat Tigers in the tournament.
We've seen plenty of players score with themselves while they're controlling their respective CHL teams, and it's kind of just shows that, hey, they know where they work best, and that's kind of an example we're already seeing with Medicine Hat and Spakovsky.
2-on-1 again, forward, and they score. Out front, it's going to be Kemp with a little dance move around the goaltender Jones, and Medicine Hat running away with this one early.
Well, Kemp's one of those reasons we were talking about that depth. To see Brett Kemp drop down to the second and third line in this game is really showcases how good the Tigers can be offensively. 4 goals is a monumental start for Spakovsky and the Tigers. But again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. This is a chance where both teams still very much alive. You have to hit that mental reset, buckle down, find some things that work well, and it all comes down to puck possession here. Can Riley Bezo get a little bit more time with the puck on his stick, work the offensive zone, because it's a very difficult goaltender in Sogard to get past. He's arguably one of the MVPs with Cole Sillinger, depending on how tonight's finals go, but there's still plenty of time. Just have to find that groove, buckle down, get some good scoring chances yourself.
Absolutely agree with you, Nick. We saw Riley Bezo give up 10 in his game 1 last night to come back and win, so he's still far from out of this as Van Imp along for Hopwo. Back for McCary, works wide, Danielson for Hopwo, save made there by Creed Jones. That could be a big one if St. John can get some puck possession and move forward. Boyer up for Bizot. Over the line, Bizot circles at the point, works from the right point towards the middle of the line to the top of the left circle. Back to the line, DeRoche. Oh, managed to keep that on side to McDonald for Bizot. Turn to Sogard's goal, and that'll be comfortably handled by the towering Tiger in the twine, Matt Sogard.
That's what you want right there. Get some pucks towards the net. Start challenging Sogard. Get some opportunities on the back end right now. Drapeau, Desrush, Innes, McCallum, Poirier, they're all getting tired. They got to make sure that you really work the pucks up well to the forwards. Let them do their job.
Faikowski shot. That one blockered aside by Jones. Drouard tries to bring that up and out. Faikowski for Sillinger. How did that go in? Cole Sillinger has a first period hat trick as he banked it off of Creed Jones. There was some English on that, and there's a couple of folks at a billiards hall saying you gotta call it.
Heavy forecheck leads to that one, Reed. Corner pocket, the call right off the backside of Jones. Couldn't quite stay flush onto that near side post because he had to make sure he protected the shooter through the slot. Defense kind of both collapsing to the side. It allowed Sillinger to get free. 3 for him in the first period, showcasing what he's already done during this entire Memorial eCup, and now one of the best offensive games. We've seen the defensive side. He's won games, Faikowski that is, with his defense and goaltending. This one trying to take game one with the offense.
And right now he's got himself in good position, up a 5-er as the play back forward and shot in front, turned wide of Creed Jones's goal. Reynolds moving forward, playing on for Lawrence, looking to cut to the middle. It's Fish to the end boards. Clayton quickly along to Brown. Momentum firmly on the side of the Tigers right now as they're just playing with a ton of speed. Kemp captures it, left wing corner, round back of the net, and that'll be taken away as the Sea Dogs look to slow things down and sort of regroup here. Burns up ahead, short 3-on-2 for Lawrence. That's poked away. Oh, the confidence right now for Lucas Spakovsky. You can see it, and he's got another 2-on-1. Danielson for Hopwell. Save made by Creed Jones. He's been under siege all through this first frame. Agman's going to walk down, play it back for Baker. Now for Corson Hopwell. Puck got poked off his stick. 40 seconds to go in the first period. McCary turns it back, gets through one check, gets through a second. Then out front they score. It's a 6-pack in period one.
Well, nothing you could say about the Tigers game is anything wrong with it here. Hopwell, again, cashing off on a 2-on-1. So many odd man rushes, too many 2-on-1s if you're the defense for the Sea Dogs. Have to take note of that. At this point, we've seen Bizot able to control the user goaltender. He doesn't need to pull out that yet. I'm sure he will if there's a breakaway coming, but just have to make sure the defense slides back into position. Have to account for that because that cross crease has been an absolute killer here in period one to put the Tigers up by 6.
Time ticking away in the first, and it's another break to the net. A sliding play back from Innes will guide that away, but through one period, it was an onslaught, Nick, of offensive chances for the Medicine Hat Tigers. They come out with a 6-0 lead.
Well, Reed, I like that last second block, though. That's what you need to do. Clog those lanes when you're Innes. That'll help get you back into it. Obviously, if you're Creed Jones, you feel for him a bit. He's faced so many shots, a lot of puck possession in his side of the ice. That just needs to translate sometime in the second and third. Fans watching this game right now, 6-0 seems like a lot. It certainly is. Obviously, if it's trending towards our biggest differential in a game, but it could flip on any single switch. One chance, you see the shots 10-1. If you could flip that around, get a quality 5, 6, 7 shots in like the first half of periods 2, if you're Riley Bizot, this game could really change the dynamics, change the momentum, give yourself some confidence right now, because that's all Bizot needs. He's had confidence this entire tournament. Spakovsky's riding with his confidence as well, which we've seen hasn't been disrupted yet, but Bizot works best under pressure, so don't count him out just yet. There's plenty more hockey to go, and of course, the best 2 out of 3, so don't forget about that either.
Thanks for tuning into the Memorial eCup presented by Kia. Be sure to follow the Canadian Hockey League on Instagram and Twitter by following CHL Hockey, and stay connected on Facebook by following the Canadian Hockey League. We dropped the puck on period 2. Let's see if Riley Bizot can start to get something charged up for his St. John Sea Dogs, as Waugh with the puck at the line holds it at the right point. carries low to the right wing corner where he and Kotkov got piled up, but there was a trip. And here's an opportunity, Nick. A penalty to the Medicine Hat Tigers, power play for the Sea Dogs, and maybe a little bit of a chance for Bizot to capture momentum.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Work the puck in deep, allow for a defense to make a mistake. That time it was the winger, Chizowski, gets too much of his stick there, creates a power play opportunity. One goal gives you some life here in the second.
Wow, for Jouard, and quickly, Sogard had to make a stop, is able to play that along for Clayton. Up ahead for Hopwo, taken back by Kotkov in neutral ice. We know what Vladislav Kotkov in this line can do. His shot that time blocked. Baker captures behind the goal, on to Hopwo, and Medicine Hat has a chance forward. Sillinger has the puck poked loose. Baker follows up. Hopwo back for Clayton, and they'll make the smart play and dump it in. DeRoche back for it, but it races past him. Sillinger can't catch it. Clayton's drive, and DeRoche will handle in front. Drouard looking for Joshua Waugh. That one knocked loose. Here's Clayton moving forward. Attacking wide right wing side. Puck lifted away by Jean-Mi Poirier. Now up for Drouard. Drouard slows to the left wing side. We're back to even in full 5-on-5 as Poirier finds Drouard through the slot. Let it run. DeRoche, his shot blocked into the corner. Chizowski gets it. Some nice zone time there, Nick. They didn't get the goal they were looking for, but it's something to start with.
Absolutely. They were hawking with the puck. They were moving it very efficiently, very fast, looking for those chances. It's been all Medicine Hat, though, really buckling down, playing their game plan, locking up in the defensive zone, not giving many prime scoring chances. Now they get rewarded with the quick stick the other way, and they're going to get their first power play as well.
Drouard is going to head off for that trip right there. Tough moment for St. John to take it, just as they got a little bit rolling. Draw scrambled and won back by the Tigers. Van Imp waits out high, right point, walks all the way down, feeds it in front, they score. Kemp, backdoor, 7-0, Tigers.
All made that one look easy off the face-off win. Van Imp able to take the puck, hold it low behind the defenseman's leg, shoot it out in front for the pass, and Kemp just tucking it through. A very tough penalty kill to give up there in the opening seconds. Again, that keeps momentum on Medicine Hat's side as they officially have touchdown at home. Look at the fans. They're going crazy. They want this Memorial eCup. I wish we could see some of the signs maybe later on in attendance. They'll be shining, but you know it's going crazy right now in Med Hat. And right now the first of the second period gives them a very good cushion, a good lead here in game one in our best of three.
Yeah, they got to be losing their minds right about now, as game one is going to be a long haul here for the St. John Sea Dogs to try to bounce back in at this point. Down 7. It might be about trying to do what Bizot did last night and capture momentum looking towards game two.
Without a doubt, at this point, it's just trying to find a little bit of momentum to get you forward. You don't have to win this first game. You just have to have something going in your direction for the start of game two. You don't want to give up another couple here to Medicine Hat and try to find your own momentum.
Step to the middle of the ice is blocked on the way through. DeRoche will pick up the puck. Tried to play that along for Lawrence. Stripped away. 2-on-4 ahead for the Tigers. Driving right to the net. Joe moved that along to Burns. Quickly ahead. Lawrence steps to the middle of the ice. Working across towards the right wing side. Nice poke away, and Lochner's back to recover onto McNabb. You look to slow things down. Now Kemp to the middle. Lochner. Tripped down. Power play coming again to the Medicine Hat Tigers, and they have been electric with the man advantage. They've just been electric altogether in the offensive zone.
Well, this isn't a goaltending problem one bit with Jones, but when you have Noah Patnote as well on the roster, you wonder if there's going to be a little momentum swing. Maybe you do opt to kind of change some goaltenders, see if it provides some kind of a spark. Should they allow a goal here on the penalty kill? We'll keep an eye on that. But I do believe both goaltenders for St. John have appeared here in this Memorial eCup, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Puck is poked out of the zone. Clayton will go back and recover in his own end, looking to move forward. Sillinger races on, short 2-on-1 develops, and they've got another. The 8th is on the board as Sillinger feeds Faikowski in front, and the Tigers right now are a runaway freight train.
Yeah, the points are going around. Faikowski gets another point here. You see Sillinger and Clayton, that combo up top has been so deadly. It's line one, it's power play one, and they're just putting up points and proving it. There's some big laps in the neutral zone that's coming down, allowing for all these breakouts to happen, and just not able to quite get a stick on it there. You see the defenseman took the center lane, the speed really playing a factor for Medicine Hat. They rushed out wide, that got past the first defenseman, then it sets up the 2-on-1. So really from that blue line in, maybe from the technical standpoint of the gameplay, you got to change more of a collapsing set, get the players more boxed out in front of Jones, help him out, and really negate any of those 2-on-1 chances if you could switch up the strategies.
That's been the biggest difference so far. It's been the odd man rush attempts for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and it feels like almost every time they're making them pay for it. Sillinger in again. Jones will send that aside for Kotkov. Moving forward, McCallum. On to Kotkov, left wing. To the middle, Joshua Waugh. Backdoor for Drouard. Kicked aside by Sogard. He splits out, and he extends from Calgary to Medicine Hat. Puck played along in front. Chizowski captures it down. Puck gets knocked loose. Sillinger back in front. Spakovsky hit the outside of the goal post. And it's Joshua Waugh working the other way as we go end to end. Waugh drags to the front. Sogard's poke check won't let him through. A little bit more confidence in the attack for the Sea Dogs right now as Weissblatt brings the puck on. Anderson dances. Jones denied him. And Agman's second chance goes wide of the net. Villeneuve quickly on. It'll be Vandervoy. Wanted it out front. Savoie can't find it there. And Wilms will play on to Anderson and out to Weissblatt. Weissblatt pulls through to Wilms, working to the slot, now wide to the right wing side. Wilms back in front. Great passing all the way around the horn before they took the shot. And Jones will play that one back out. And you're seeing Lucas Faikowski really putting on a show in the offensive zone, Nick.
Yeah, the offense is going, already putting up 8 in the first 2 periods. It's exactly the start you want to have in the Memorial eCup Championship Series. But there were some really good plays there by Riley Bizot and the St. John Sea Dogs. They had some really good puck movement in the last 2 possessions. They had a couple of saves. They're putting bodies in front of the rushing wingers. That's helping a lot as well to try to create some kind of momentum moving forward in this one, as it ends with just giving up a few there in that second period. So you are seeing the tides turn just slightly in terms of, maybe not necessarily in terms of momentum, but the gap is shortening, and that's going to tend to favor Riley Bizot moving forward, because obviously it's a perfect start in game 1 for Spakovsky.
8-0 through 40 minutes. Let's bring in Brandon Scott if we can. And Brandon, you talked in the pregame about Bizot being a master of in-game changes and between-game changes. What does he need to change moving forward here?
Well, one thing he needs to start doing is start capitalizing in his strong suit, and that's scoring off the rush. He needs to get control of the puck and move it around a little faster, moving forward to create some space and some adjustments for Medicine Hat to accumulate in their own zone. And then, of course, what Nick was saying, just getting pucks on net. He needs to get something going for him for a positive outtake in this game.
Thanks for watching the Memorial Cup presented by Kia. Be sure to enter for your chance to win daily prizes and a chance of winning a grand prize of $1,000 prepaid Visa gift card. Today's promo code is champion. Enter the contest at chl.ca/Memorial eCup. Once again, today's promo code is champion, and you can enter the contest at chl.ca/Memorial eCup. Nick, what'd you think of Brandon's advice for Riley Bizot after 40?
No, I agree. I think that's exactly what you have to do. You got more shots in the second period. The time on attack when the numbers flashed on the screen, virtually identical. So you're still getting the puck in. A lot of that came from one of the power plays, but just have to really try to work behind the defense, and that speed playing a factor. What a great save, though.
That was Bizot taking control, but after the save, when it rains, it pours. The puck rolled through Creed Jones. It was Cole Sillinger picking it up in the crease, 9-0.
Oh, it made a great stop. Nobody could pick up the puck, but everyone was on top of it. They're not exactly sure what happened. I think they lost sight of it because there were 3 Sea Dogs right on top of Jones trying to settle that puck, and ultimately flushed in on the second follow-up there. Missed it once. Sillinger got it again. That's his 4th. Already has, I think, 6 points in this one as well. But right now, because this is the championship game, by the way, in the past there's been that mercy rule, but this one's going to keep moving on. And right now it has the lookings of being potentially one of our biggest differentials in the entire game, which of course goes against exactly what we've said in our pregame of how close these games have truly been, but still game 2 and game 3 upcoming. We've seen a 10-6 loss on the St. John's side with Riley Bezo turn into a 6-0 win. So anything can happen moving forward, and now another power play is certainly going to help.
Yeah, the 2 out of 3 format completely changes the outlook as Darache looking to step down. St. John gets the extra man on, and now the tripping call will be made. 16-14 to go in the third period. Clayton will head off. I mean, Nick, at this point, I don't think there's much question of who's going to take game 1, but it's about what Riley Bezo can build from here.
Correct. And I think I'm sure you're like me, Reed. I've dabbled as well with the NHL video games, and you get in these games, you get frustration. It's just a mental side. It's hard to try to rebound here in the second and third period when you're already down by such a big margin, but it's a chance where knowing that you have that second game, this isn't the only game you're playing like it was in the first 3 or 4 rounds. You have a chance to really flip your own script. You can get 1 goal, then all of a sudden you'll see confidence come back, say, hey, I got 1. Now I'm going to get 2, 3, 4, and let's just keep rolling off of that.
All right. 15:40 left to go here in the third. What can Riley Bezo find to build off of? As Reynolds feeds along for Poirier. On to Burns in front. His turnaround won't go. Weissblatt shorthanded, working up the rink. Plays it across for Corson Hopwo. He's onside. Puck got poked back to the line. Baker saved it there. Creed Jones punches that aside, and it's Burns. Onto the right wing. In over the Medicine Hat line, taking it into the right wing corner. All the way back to Darache at the line. On to Burns. He tried to shovel that in front. It gets knocked into the corner. Sillinger has a look up ahead. Clayton's out of the box. We're even in full. 5-on-5. 13:50 to go in game 1 that has been controlled by the Medicine Hat Tigers. Burns along to Poirier. Poirier wanted to feed for Reynolds moving through. Instead, he'll continue himself. Left wing side. Now finds Reynolds. He gets tripped down. And Nick, 1 positive for Riley Bezo is he's drawing penalties back-to-back now.
100%. This is exactly what Brandon was alluding to. Just start to generate some offense on the rush. They did that time, peeled away to the point, allowed a little up the seam route there for the wing. It drew a penalty. Honestly, it's a pretty good penalty, though, if you are Spakovsky, just because you saw that 2-on-1 was breaking down. So at least in the mental warfare side of this, it keeps it 9-0, keeps Bezo off the scoreboard. A power play goal that would do wonders. You'd go 1 for 4 and really start getting some attack.
Lochner with a steal, shorthanded, works in and scores. Lochner, great individual effort through neutral ice to take it away, wander in, and put the 10th on the board for the Medicine Hat Tigers. It has been a snowball rolling down a hill to their favor.
Yeah, just a lapse there on neutral ice. Have to get the puck off your stick quicker there. It goes over, and right away, just stolen. Lochner driving in on the right wing side, puts it past Jones, who's been out there now for all 10. It's frustrating, I'm sure, for the goaltender. The home crowd just fired up for this one. Medicine Hat scoring now, even strength on the power play, shorthanded. So they've scored in all the categories and looking very, very sharp and put together like they want to win their 3rd Memorial Cup, albeit this will be 2 Memorial Cups, 1 Memorial eCup if they can get potentially 1 more after this.
I'm sure they'll celebrate it just the same as every team that entered into this right across Canada talked to us about how much they wanted to win this. No Memorial Cup in 2020, obviously, and this has been a great tournament, and I'm sure this will mean a ton to whichever organization has the honor as McCallum looks to bring it forward. Swept away from Waugh, and that'll be carried right back on in as Waugh will pick it up to the right wing side, playing to the middle for Jouard. Knocked loose, Chizowski over the line, 9.5 to go. Sillinger feeds the front. That gets batted down. Sillinger steals it back. He and Chizowski exchange. Chizowski to the outside, steps down. Faikowski looking to the front of the net. Back to the line, Krebs delays. Now for Chizowski, great puck movement. And we've seen that all game, Nick, from these Medicine Hat Tigers. They can just move it right around the circuit.
Yeah, I think that's what's creating the most frustration, too, from Riley Bezo and the St. John Sea Dogs, because they've been getting it done offensively. The Tigers, that is, so many different ways. They've got it on the rush. They've got it on the 2-on-1s. They found it on loose puck scrambles. They've gotten it shorthanded on the power play, cycling the puck low to high, really moving the zone. So it's not like one area that Bezo's trying to clean up. He's just trying to figure out how Spakovsky and the Tigers are moving forward in this first game to try to give him a glimpse of what to expect in game 2.
Bouncing puck was just rolled past the net, and it'll be McDonald tossing it down to Sogard, who steps out of his own goal. Where's Mad Sogard going? Puck almost turned over through neutral ice. Sillinger on for Wilms, now to Weissblatt to the forehand. Tried to go one-handed, and he almost dragged it right through Creed Jones and out the other side.
Yeah, now we're just getting some nifty plays, trying to see what you can do offensively and get some highlight reel kind of stuff. You have the cushion to do so at this point, and trying to get creative here in the third period, having the puck possession, getting it deep. It's allowing for those chances, though. And Bizzo's been doing well on draws, so that's going to help him moving forward to games 2 and hopefully a game 3 for his sake. Just winning that gives him puck possession, allows him to move cleanly through the 3 zones, and you see some trickery here.
Burns steps forward, played on to Rude. His shot around back glass. I got to say, Nick, and you're familiar with those West Coast Redwoods. When Mad Sogard started wandering out of the net, the only thing I could think was, imagine if one of those trees could skate.
Without a doubt. I know he was a force to be reckoned with in the Western League. Everyone had their eyes on that matchup. And you see Creed Jones trying to show his best impersonation of acting big. That was a great save.
How about that? Creed Jones going full Dominic Hasek. As Savoie steps in for the shot, that one goes wide of the net. One thing's for sure, even down the way he is, you can tell what kind of a player Riley Bizzo is. He's still having some fun with it, and that's going to bode well for him headed to game 2. I don't think this is going to phase him. As 2-on-1 again for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Puck played out top. Van Imp tries it to the side of the net. Jones knocks it away. We're down to 20 seconds left in game 1. Drover pulls through his skates, and offside with 16.7 to go. I really don't think this is going to be the end of Bizzo, Nick. I think he's just too mentally tough.
Well, you see the gap, it did shorten. You just have to find a goal here. Obviously, 16 seconds, we're going to drop the fight. That could generate some momentum moving forward into game 2. Let's call it.
McCary squares off. Waugh steps out of the way, catches him with the overhand right. McCary backs up, tried the uppercut. Waugh over the top with the right hand. They stay back at range. Right hand lands. Waugh, nice high guard, dances out of the way. McCary reaching a little bit. Waugh, pause forward. Now just missed with that right. McCary catches him with a couple, make it 3. And the uppercut lands to the overhand right. What a combination from McCary.
Very good fight overall. That's what the fans love sometimes, and momentum kind of sticks the same. Both teams getting some really good looks, though. So you have to imagine now, if you're St. John, your Medicine Hat, both benches are ignited. They're ready to go for game 2. They mean business. It showcases that Medicine Hat, of course, is looking at the scoreboard in their favor. But this is a chance where St. John's just looking to try to get those shot totals back up down to 1. It's not exactly what you want to see here in the third. They're trying to get creative and find some lanes. But game 1 all but over right now.
Danielson dances in, looking to the backhand. Burns takes away. Tries to step from danger onto DeRoche. 2 seconds and 1 left. Game 1 goes the way of the Medicine Hat Tigers. A big effort. A 10-0 Mad Sogard shutout. Cole Sillinger, 4 goals in the game, and those co-MVPs, Nick, they lead them to a game 1 victory. They take that series lead.
Well, the big part that really benefits Medicine Hat, if you're Lucas Faikowski right now, is that defensive prowess they've had. Mad Sogard didn't have to be tested as much. He made 1 or 2 sensational saves in game 1, ultimately giving them the victory. A clean slate so far as well. That's 7-0 record. If you are Lucas Faikowski and the Medicine Hat Tigers, that's going to benefit them going forward into game 2. And now defensively, 6 goals given up in a total of those 7 games. So, 10 goals, I believe the number is 10 goals given up in the 7 games played. So from the defensive perspective, that's what you like to see in terms of the really stout shutdown defense. The defense was able to get behind the forwards almost all of this game. There wasn't too many odd man rushes going in, with the exception of the few penalties that were drawn for Riley Bizzo and the St. John Sea Dogs. So you have to assume that they're capitalizing on their game plan. And it's going to be a big focus on game 2 of changing some things up, having some film to work with, and getting a feel for this championship.
Bizzo dropped game 1 of his semifinal 10-6, won back-to-back games from there to advance to the final. He's far from out of it, but he's got some work to do. Lucas Faikowski's been perfect in the tournament. Can he close it out and become the first Memorial eCup champion? We're going to find out. Game 2 only moments away, and we'll be back for that right after this.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. Run wild. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go.
For 60 teams across North America, pursuit of this trophy is at the top of their list. It's a goal they aim for when they first pull on a team jersey. It's not an easy road, from training camp to the grind of the regular season, the hopes of a long playoff run, leading to a league championship. This 9-month journey brings out the best, and all focus is on the final step. If the Stanley Cup is the holy grail for the National Hockey League, the Memorial Cup is the elusive prize for junior hockey. Weighing just over 40 pounds, this symbol of excellence is engraved with over 3,000 names that tell a story of the young men who have competed for it. Young hockey players have dreamt of winning this title, of being named champion. Icons of the game have challenged for it, but fell short. The cup was first handed out in 1919 to honor and remember those that gave their lives fighting World War I. In 2010, the Canadian Hockey League rededicated it to the memory of all fallen Canadian military personnel. For many players, this is the summit, the best they will ever be, the highest mountain they will conquer. For others, it will be a chapter in a career about to unfold at another level. The list of winners is impressive. Powerhouse teams that delivered. Surprise teams that weren't expected to contend. Teams that simply went about their business on the ice. All were waiting for those final seconds to tick off, and the burst of emotion realizing they are the champions. When a hockey dream can become a reality, it is the Memorial Cup.
Welcome back to the Memorial eCup presented by Kia. We get set for Game 2. Lucas Faikowski with a chance to become the first Memorial eCup champion, but still a shot for Riley Bizot. It's Reed Duthie, Nick Merrick, and Brandon Scott back with you. And Nick, that Game 1, I don't think anybody was expecting what Lucas Faikowski was able to do.
No, without a doubt. One of our first lopsided games truly in this entire tournament. The first double-digit scoring affair we've seen in this one. So right off the get-go, having those 2 quick goals by Cole Sillinger in the first minute of play. He ended up with 4, plenty more assists as well to add in. Everything was going Medicine Hat's way. Now we're going to flip the script, and we go to the TD station here for Game 2, so anything could happen.
Brandon, we saw in the semifinals how Riley Bizot can change his fortunes by adjusting in between games. Can he do that here?
Yes, he certainly can. He proved that in the semifinals where he lost game 1 in there too. One thing he needs to start doing in this game is going back to basics and just how clogging up in front of the net, not allowing cross-crease passes, and then offensively, he needs to get going. He needs to start slowing down with the puck and using all 5 guys on the ice.
From Medicine Hat, Alberta to St. John, New Brunswick, we're back underway in Game 2 as DeRoche will look to bring the puck forward. Can Bizot capture that magic again? St. John in the blue, trimmed with the black and white. Medicine Hat, the white, trimmed with the black and orange. And the shot onto Sogard's goal will be soaked up by the massive netminder Faceoff will come to his right. And Nick, that presents the problem. If Bizot can turn up the offensive pressure, you've still got to beat Sogard.
Yeah, Reed, I love the movement there, though, right off the bat. Winning a faceoff, getting that first puck on, it's going to do some wonders as this game moves on. We saw some defensive and some forward line changes going into this Game 2 of the championship series, so we'll see if it ends up sparking St. John.
Jasowski in front. Great save by Creed Jones. That's what we saw in Game 2 last night. When the series moved to St. John, Creed Jones found another gear, and so did the Sea Dogs offense. Joshua Waugh looking low, left wing corner. Tries to center it for Kotkov. Nicely tied up by Clayton. Chance for a 2-on-1. It'll be Sillinger up ahead. Kotkov busts it to get back, and the shot on Jones is soaked up. So already you can see a little bit more commitment to stop those odd man rushes, Nick.
Oh, without a doubt. There's been really good defensive play. Just making sure that the open ice stays clear, allowing just to move the puck up. And you see those simple shots like that. They don't do too much, but it puts the puck on, allows the offense to work deep behind the goal line, and then you can kind of set up some kind of an attack and start swinging the puck around like we're seeing here from Riley Bizot.
DeRoche's drive, blockered aside by Mads Sogard, but they already look like a different team, following the same script as one night ago.
Maybe it's just the difference of home ice as well. You're comfortable in your home locker room. You're comfortable in front of your home fans. You get the support. Everyone knows that the game's on the line, so you really have nothing to lose if you're St. John. It's all pressure situation right now on Lucas Faikowski and the Medicine Hat Tigers to get it done in 2, because you know if you're Spakovsky, you don't want to have a lopsided win in Game 1, give up a loss in Game 2, and then have to try to fight it out in Game 3. So really from that psyche, you could be all Riley Bizot here in Game 2. Just play your style, have some fun with it, because all the pressure's on your opponent.
And Game 3 remains in St. John, so a little bit of something to look forward to for the Sea Dogs as Danielson stopped on the way down the slot by Jones. Burns working to the right wing side, feeds on for Lawrence. Turns away, tries to feed the front, puck got poked back to the line. Lawrence picks it up again, through the traffic of Van Imp, back to Innes at the line. Stepping back on for Lawrence. Cuts around one. Puck poked loose. Van Imp gets it up to Hopwo. But unlike what we saw in Game 1, it was just one man ahead. Now Innes drives. Puck bounces in behind the goal. Reynolds can't collect there. Hopwo is going to ice that. Well, maybe not. Creed Jones is going to come out and play it. Reynolds through neutral ice. On to Lawrence. You can feel some urgency from the Sea Dogs. Weissblatt with a steal. Backing over the St. John line. Boyer gets it loose, on towards 7.5 left in the period. Reynolds in, shot, saved by Sogard. Krebs off the backboards. This is a different game, Nick.
Way different. All credit to the defense getting back. You see 2 D-men activating at their own blue line. They're getting behind the forwards. They're doing a good job staying between the puck and their goaltender. That's been a huge difference at the start of this game, because you look back at Game 1, it was already 3-4-0 at this point. The fact that it's still scoreless and there hasn't really been a prime scoring opportunity yet, it has to be favoring Riley Bizot and the St. John Sea Dogs.
Jasowski in over the line. Puck poked loose. Clayton back for Baker. He'll stride to the line. Sillinger's in. Stripped loose, and there's McDonald. Sweeping on to Bizot. Riley Bizot to the left wing. Cut off there. Spakovsky punches it on to Clayton. 3:45 left in the period. Sillinger for Spakovsky. Back for Sillinger. That was deflected into the corner. Jamie Poirier runs into traffic, gets it loose, but not cleanly out. DeRoche couldn't get it there. Jasowski side of the net. Jones makes the stop. Puck rolled through off the back of his skate and then taken along and out. St. John will get to clear. Best chance so far for Medicine Hat, Nick, and St. John was able to handle the danger.
Well, it's all job now of Jones. He really came in a different man as well, knowing that he needs to help his team really buckle down to win this one. Phelan doesn't want to give anything up early and wants to make everything hard.
Savoie brings the puck forward. That's going to be turned ahead. Lochner in over the line. Offside. 15.5 seconds left here in the first period.
Reed, it's just good adjustments. It's knowing that Game 1 didn't go your way. What do we have to fix? Hit the film room, understand what it's going to take, and St. John coming out a completely different team than the one we just saw. This is looking like the matchup we expected out of the gate from Game 1. It's obviously going to be a little bit of an uphill battle moving forward into Game 2 as Period 1 runs out scoreless at 0-0. But the big thing is, you look at this decade, St. John is used to being here. They won the Memorial Cup in 2011. They finished third, and they were representatives after winning the title in 2012 and 2017. How about most recently in the 17 squad? There were 15 NHL drafted players on that roster, and that doesn't even include the likes of Highmore, who ends up getting signed as a prime free agent, goes on to the Chicago Blackhawks organization. That team was loaded. This organization knows how to build talent, how to produce them, and because of that, they know what it takes to rebound from one game to the next, and exactly what we're seeing. The gap shot and shots of 5-4 is really showing off here in Game 2.
Absolutely. The script has been flipped for Game 2 to this point. Thanks for tuning in to the Memorial eCup presented by Kia. Be sure to follow the Canadian Hockey League on Instagram and Twitter by following CHL Hockey, and stay connected on Facebook by following the Canadian Hockey League. We set up for period 2. Sillinger and Kotkov lean in, and the puck pushed forward and ahead by the Medicine Hat Tigers. Faikowski back to the line for Clayton, who steps down. Benjamin Rude pokes the puck loose, captures it, strides into the offensive zone, left wing side, taken back by Spakovsky. Rude steals back, tried it, that was a shoulder stop from Sogard. Puck worked along to the line, Rude can't locate it. Baker on for Sillinger. He'll step into the slot for Chizowski. Great save by Creed Jones. He's finding that groove again.
Jones is eating up a ton of pucks. He is hungry today. He wants this one. He has the backing of his home fans. St. John kind of providing a different spark here, really doing a tremendous job in their own zone. Now we just need to work on the next element, making sure that can translate to those rushes that we've seen so successful for Bezo, and they nearly got it right there.
Lawrence had to be handled by Sogard, who split across the crease, and once again that towering frame came in handy for the big Medicine Hat netminder. Reynolds on the draw. Can't bring that back as Lochner was just able to best him. Puck dragged forward. Reynolds steals. Innes up ahead for Burns. Just put himself offside. You can feel something coming though, Nick, for the Sea Dogs. They're knocking at the door consistently here.
Yeah, you got to find a way to put it past Sogard. He's been a difference maker all tournament long, and from a game that can be so offensive, the fact that he's keeping his goals against average sub-2 is absolutely unheard of going into this finals, and a big reason why you and Brandon and us now tonight have been really hounding that he's going to be a co-MVP or has a very good chance to be so, because he's just been so sound. He's cleaned up pucks, makes a nice save like that through traffic, but now more pucks are getting towards his net. So is he fresh enough from the 6 or 7 shots he saw in Game 1 that he can handle the barrage that we're expecting to come from Bezo and the Sea Dogs?
End-to-end so far in the second period, it's Jones and Sogard slamming the doors shut as Brown the other way. Who can finally crack him as Jones will send that back into the corner. Drouard. And who will crack first as Kotkov looks to step loose. Lochner on for McNabb. Steps wide, left wing side to the middle of the ice, stolen, and that'll be carried along by DeRoche. He put the brakes on at the top of the left wing circle. Kotkov follows. He gets tripped down. Opportunity knocks. It's a power play for the Sea Dogs.
Well, this could be where things swing. Just an aggressive stick by McNabb. Takes out the winger right at the circles as they were trying to get the puck in deep, and he'll think about that for a couple of minutes, and this is where St. John's going to say, this is our chance. Let's open up the scoring right here, right now, in this championship best of 3 and get something going in our favor. It very well could happen based on how we've seen this game go so far.
Oppo steps into the offensive zone for Clayton, shorthanded. Jones had to handle that as he was right on top of him. Innes the other way with speed up the left wing side. Tries to pull to the middle. Handled by Baker, but the puck turned over. McCallum for Leonard. And that one stopped by Sogard from the top of the right wing circle. Jones and Sogard are playing a little game of one-upsmanship.
Really good job there by Leonard, too, at the blue line, recognizing that space, just taking the puck, collecting it cleanly, and just ripping it on net. Those firing attempts are really going to help moving forward, just putting a ton of pucks onto pads of Matt Sogard.
DeRoche's drive had to be handled out of the corner. Scraping the front of the goal is Benjamin Rude. That one won't go. Puck played around the back. Joshua Waugh steps down, feeds in front. Reynolds shot stopped by Sogard at the top of his blue paint. Oh, that was so close.
That was a little bit of a mistake by Faikowski and Sogard. A little overconfidence maybe, trying to play the puck and move the puck down ice to try to send it the other way. Instead, it almost generated a 2-on-1 backdoor because the puck was taken over in the corner. Got to be careful with that when you're down, man.
Van Imp tried it across the front of the net for Hopwell, but the pass was behind him. We're back to even in full 5-on-5. Liam Leonard can't get it cleanly into the offensive end. Chesowski steps forward, has Faikowski to the net, and again, Jones pokes that aside. Back up, it's McDonald. Steps into the offensive zone, knocked loose. Spakovsky for Chesowski. He gets run out of space. This feels like a really fine chess match.
Yeah, see the supports you had there too, Reed, on that last rush by Medicine Hat on the right wing side, your left on the screen. Just there were 3 players all around and activated into the back check there to hustle back to the defensive zone. That's the difference between game 2 and game 1, is the fact that more defensive play, especially from both the defensemen, of course, but also the forwards really getting involved through center ice, and that's benefiting here in game 2.
Brown steps his way ahead around the back of the St. John goal, feeds out front, Kemp scores! Medicine Hat breaks the deadlock. It's 1-0 Tigers with 4.5 to go in the second period.
Well, that helps with your depth. Brad Kemp right off a line change, able to get in fresh legs. He had the speed. He came all the way off the bench because that tremendous patience behind the net to protect it out wide to the forehand. Kemp, which just comes lasering through the zones, right through the slot to the left side post, extended out in the forehand, caught it clean, ripped it home quickly, and that makes it 1-0. It took a while to find offense, but a very good job there by Spakovsky and the Tigers of getting the first here in game 2.
And now the clock starts to become a bit of an enemy for the St. John Sea Dogs. It's only a goal, but time moves so much faster in the Memorial eCup than it would in a normal game. As DeRoche steps forward, Baker steals onto McCary. He'll work his way up the right wing side. Back to the line, Clayton steps on. This next goal could be so critical as McCary looks to center. Rude will take that away, and St. John want to counter. Joshua Waugh through neutral ice onto Vladislav Kotkov. He'll slow it, played it into the skates, and it's Baker working his way up ahead. 2-on-2 into the offensive zone. Baker feeds back. Danielson's one-timer sailed a bit high and wide. Jones will step onto it with 59.7 seconds left in the second period.
Well, it's a little bit of a experience gap, too, between these two players. Over 100 games played for Lucas Faikowski in the Western Hockey League. Has it with a few organizations. Spent some time with the national program as well. Had the offensive rush. Now trying to take care of it defensively. Bizo, a younger player as well for the St. John Sea Dogs, trying to find his offensive prowess. Nearly got something to go there, but just down by 1. He's very much into it. Just seeing those two styles clash. This third period set up to be a tremendous one in game 2. Medicine Hat's going to try to claim the first ever Memorial eCup. We're going to try to force game 3 for the St. John Sea Dogs. So we still have another fun-packed 20 minutes of e-tournament play to go.
Medicine Hat knocking at the door. Brandon, let's bring you back in. And what are your thoughts through 40 minutes?
I'm surprised how there's only one goal in this game so far. Both goaltenders are playing phenomenal. And one thing for St. John's right now, Riley Bizo, that Matt Sogard's got to be looking 10 feet tall. He needs to start rubbing rocks together to get a spark offensively. He needs to find the back of the net here. That could be the end of his run.
I love that line, and you know I do. Thanks for watching the Memorial eCup presented by Kia. Be sure to enter for your chance to win daily prizes and a chance at winning a grand prize of a $1,000 prepaid Visa gift card. Today's promo code is CHAMPION. Enter the contest at chl.ca/Memorial eCup. Once again, today's promo code is CHAMPION. Enter the contest at chl.ca/Memorial eCup. We're underway in the third period. Is it the last 20 minutes of the eCup, or is it the beginning of another one? As the puck in over the line, and it's 47 seconds into the frame. St. John will have the power play, and Nick, just as I say it, here comes the opportunity.
Well, you saw between the periods, too, that there was a shot differential that favored Riley Bizo and the Sea Dogs. He's drawing penalties. He's having these chances on the power play. Just have to cash in on one of them. now would be great, but it doesn't have to be now. You just got to start getting more pucks on Sogard, really put pressure there, and they nearly found it there at the top of the left circle.
Sillinger steps forward, shorthanded. Oh, you can just feel this next goal and how big it's going to be. Reynolds in over the line, tried to center. Hopwo steals away. Baker in over the offensive blue line. Sweeps to the slot. Sillinger's got it. Shorthanded. Cole Sillinger doubles the lead for the Tigers. He's been oh so good in this tournament, and he may have just had the golden goal.
Well, the big reason Sillinger's been so electric is the fact that he scores those big-time goals. You look back at game one, he started off the first two. He was credited with the game-winning goal, that one because of the large victory. Now here in game two, a deciding game at that. You're in a one-goal contest going into the third period. He puts it in the back of the net. Go to the guys who have proven themselves during this Memorial eCup championship tournament. That's what they do here in game two. Sillinger just knows how to work the offensive zone. It's the perfect guy to find in front of Jones.
And that clock has got to be ticking audibly in between the ears of Riley Bizot. 17:45 to go. He needs a pair to force an extra frame. McDonald in over the line. Works from the right wing side to the middle. His shot. Sogard able to bat that down. Hopwo looks up ahead. Has Sillinger. Sillinger works wide, and that's the man to keep your eyes on. 44 as he's out front again. And that one just off at the toe of his blade into the corner. Hopwo feeds that on. Bizot takes, can't get it further than Sillinger, who tried back for Hopwo. That got intercepted. Faikowski stays on it, but it's played out, and now to McDonald. End to end. McDonald looks out front, feeds on Riley Bizot. He cracks Sogard. It's 2-1. There's still life in those Sea Dogs.
There it is. That's what you need. I was just about to say, too, Riley Bizot and Lucas Faikowski were both on the ice for the respective teams during that shift. That time, Bizot did a sensational job of boxing out on one of the last shooting opportunities, comes down the ice, makes himself big, flashes the stick, keeps it on the ice. That allows for the pass to happen. He got behind the defense and just tucks it in past Sogard. The first he's given up this championship game, and life is right back in stored if you're St. John.
Well, now it could be a real sprint to the finish. As the puck played forward for Waugh. Kotkov follows it up. Waugh right back. Now Rude drives that one. Blocked on the way through. Stepping down is Rude. Up top, Girouard for DeRoche. He'll work his way down. That one's centered. Taken loose by Lochner. 13:15 to go. Spakovsky trying to create a 2-on-1. Spakovsky in front. Pass was just a little bit off target. He'll take it back in the corner. McNabb working right point to left as Van Impel walk low. All the way around the back of the net. It's centered, and Spakovsky scores. He saw what Bizot did with himself and answered back in kind. Spakovsky, as Spakovsky, doubles the lead.
Oh, I love that. Bizot scoring with Bizot. A couple minutes later in the game time, Faikowski scoring with himself and increasing the lead back to 2. What a sensational job of responding there for Medicine Hat. Regain that 2-goal lead. Give yourself a little cushion. And guys, I am honored right now to be joining you in this championship series, but my heart goes out to that this could be a chance for Bob Ridley, one of the Hall of Fame broadcasters we've seen in the entire CHL, getting a chance to call him another Memorial Cup. He could have called this Memorial eCup. He's a man with over 4,000 games broadcasted, been a part of all 5 Medicine Hat Tiger championships, both Memorial Cup championships, and now they're trying to do it for good old Bob Ridley here. 3-1 lead moving forward into the third period. The top couple of line, that top 6, has been performing tonight for the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Bob, Brandon, Nick, myself, and everyone else involved, take our hats off to you. 4,000 games. Oh, my goodness. As Kemp walks his way in, Jones makes the stop, and I'm so glad you brought his name up, Nick.
Oh, without a doubt, he is one of the best people you will ever meet, not only in this sport, but just in life. Incredible. I'm ashamed that being in the Western League, I only get to share a booth with him once a year. We only get a couple of conversations as well because of the out east and out west, with myself being over here in Portland. But just a legendary broadcaster, an incredible human being, and he's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. So would love to see him get to witness another Memorial Cup for the Tigers. And you might see one here in the Memorial eCup today, as we're going to drop the mitts here and see if it'll change any momentum.
Weissblatt and Kotkov square off, and they go right jersey to jersey. Both trying over the top with the right hands. Kotkov comes underneath, over the top. Weissblatt, he lands a right. Couple of jabs in there from Kotkov. Weissblatt returns the favor. Up and over the top. Kotkov swing and a miss. Oh, Weissblatt caught him square, and Weissblatt will be happy to take his 5 minutes as momentum continues for the Tigers.
Well, that was big from the game standpoint. You see the entire energy came back for lines 1 and 2 if you're Medicine Hat. Now with a 2-goal lead, you were going to have to play your 3rd and 4th line quite a bit to just try to get the energy back for the top 2 lines. So it's a great draw if you're Spakovsky of taking Weissblatt out for Kotkov, who's a top 6 as well for the St. John Sea Dogs. And Weissblatt comes from a generation of Weissblatts. He's been doing so phenomenal throughout the CHL. He comes through in a big-time moment and really giving some more and needed life to potentially close out this deciding game 2.
Still time to go. Chizowski works his way in for Faikowski down the slot. Puck gets knocked loose. Rude wants to step up for it. St. John need a pair, and they're going to get a power play. Rude was tripped on his way through neutral ice. It'll be touched by the Tigers. 5:10 to go. Nick, I don't want to say must-score power play, but we got to be awfully close here.
Well, Bizo's done the right things on the power play. You're exactly right. Time is starting to not get on his side. You could change that in a quick moment. One quick shot makes it back within 1. Have an opportunity to pull the goalie. It won't happen, I don't think, this early, but you could certainly get something going quick offensively, as that was a great penalty to draw. And one of the best assets of Bizo's game in games 1 and 2 is getting the Tigers to the box.
Oppo, turn to the boards. Run into again. McDonald will pick it up and play it along. Hopwo works wide. Leonard down low. Wanted it back in front. Bizo will find it. Guided through a couple, and the puck will be banked off the boards. You know, once again, I just want to say my thanks to everybody involved in this tournament. Tonight, calling my 56th and 57th games in the last 19 days. Couldn't be more proud to have been involved with the Memorial eCup presented by Kia, and to have an involvement with the Canadian Hockey League and all the guys who have made this possible, including Nick and Brandon with me tonight, who have just done an incredible job, as we're going to be 4-on-4. Bizo heads to the box for a trip.
No, Bizo could have had that one too. Very nicely said, Reed. And ultimately, too, just a big tip of the cap to the fan for your involvement, enjoying this, making the CHL's Memorial eCup a thing. Hopefully this will be a more regular as well, that we could bring for your entertainment and allow you to get a glimpse into some of the different personalities from across the entire Canadian Hockey League and see them play on a different setting.
Puck out front, and just as it becomes a Medicine Hat power play, Lochner deposits to the back of the net. It's a 3-goal Tigers lead, and you can see the celebration. They can start to feel it now. The bench has got to have the butterflies.
Sorry for cutting you off there, Reed, into that goal, but just a tremendous job again. Lochner had a power play goal just a minute ago. He had a short-handed goal back in game 1, so he's done it in big-time situations. 4-1 is looking also very good moving forward into the final minutes here of game 3. You still have enough time if you're Riley Bizo to get a spark. You can do it. Let's see if we can take Brandon's thought of just rubbing some stones together, get something on your side, get a flame, spark something. Bizo nearly had it a minute ago before he drew that penalty, almost cashed it in past the left pad. Now has a chance down by 3. Need one back quickly to give yourself a chance.
Somewhere I got to think a couple guys named Lyndon and Rudy are wearing black and orange with grinnings on their faces as they see the Tigers with a 4-1 lead in this potentially decisive game 2. Puck around back of the Medicine Hat goal. Faikowski works up the right wing side. Stays on to it. Under a minute to go. Villeneuve strips the puck away. Waugh playing it ahead for Jouard. Potential 2-on-1. Jouard for Reynolds. That one deflected into the corner. 47 seconds to go. Medicine Hat is on the verge of winning the inaugural Memorial eCup, as it'll be Poirier up ahead. Over the line. That gets knocked loose. down to 36 seconds left. Puck will be played up and out through neutral ice. Half a minute to go. Puck played backside. McNabb, his chance blocked. That bench has got to feel it now. 20 seconds. Waugh up for Lawrence. Trying to guide his way through the crowd. It'll roll out past the blue line. 15 seconds. DeRoche steps back in, looking to center the puck. His shot blocked to the corner. 7 seconds. DeRoche for Reynolds into the slot. Waugh turns it out high. 2 seconds and 1. Medicine Hat, celebrate! You are the inaugural Memorial eCup champions!
What a celebration for Medicine Hat. They're on the ice. They're pouring out, celebrating a tremendous run all the way through the Memorial eCup. They are no strangers. It's their 6th time they have been in the finals of the Memorial Cup, or at least a representative in there. 1973, 1987, 1988, 2004, 2007, 2020. Champions in 87, champions in 88, and now a Memorial eCup championship in 2020. For all the glory, a perfect run through this tournament. 8 wins, 0 losses, not much wiggle room. Spakovsky does the best.
Mads Søgaard allows 1 goal in 120 minutes of hockey in the finals to be able to capture the trophy. What an incredible run for Lukas Faikowski and his Medicine Hat Tigers as they'll pass around that oh so beautiful Memorial eCup. It's one of the finest looking trophies in all of sports, and Nick, they've earned it.
Oh, love the captaincy, get the first touch at it as well. Krebs hoisting it, passing it over to Kemp and Chizowski, and just such a storied franchise to be able to lift the first one here too in the Memorial eCup. The inaugural run at it says something. Søgaard gets the last touch. The whole team will pose for a celebration, and what a run it's been. Søgaard, of course, a draftee of the Ottawa Senators just a few drafts ago, and now you have probably the most electric offensive performance we've seen throughout the tournament, potentially in Cole Sillinger, is going to be a key name in 2021. I wonder if NHL scouts were even tuning into the Memorial eCup. Can't get much of a glimpse of the OHL and the WHL guys now, but you can go onto the Memorial eCup, see what Sillinger can do, at least on the electronic platform, and boy, did he shine. He's projected to be a first-round pick in 2021, and Medicine Hat can wear this victory, bring this championship banner back to the fans in Alberta.
The celebrations will continue. Don't go anywhere. After this quick break, our Brandon Scott will have the champion himself, Lukas Faikowski.
Hello, Instagram.
I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go.
Welcome back to the Memorial eCup presented by Kia. The celebrations continue on, and as Medicine Hat fans parade the black and orange, we'll head to our Brandon Scott, who's got the champion himself, the man on the sticks, Lukas Faikowski.
Lucas, welcome to the broadcast. How's it feel to be the first ever winner of the Memorial eCup?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really fun thing you guys put together. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be a part of it. And obviously, winning's nice as well. So, yeah, I'll take that.
Let's talk about game 1 in this series. You went up 6-0 in the first period. Were you really feeling yourself, or was that more of just a hot start?
I think it was a pretty hot start. Yeah, I came out pretty aggressive. Got some good bounces. I remember it being like 6 or 5-0 with like 6 shots. So yeah, the boys were just capitalizing, and yeah, it was definitely a good start.
And then the second game, it was you led 1-0 after 40 minutes. How nervous were you coming into that third period?
Yeah, I mean, he really changed the way he played. So that's good for him. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a pretty tight game, the second one, but yeah, like I said before, Mads is huge in that. So, I'm just happy to win.
Yeah, tell me about the play of your goaltender, Matt Sogard, in this tournament. I just felt like he's been dominant and definitely one person that could collect a couple MVP.
Yeah, he's been huge for sure. Obviously really good goalie. So he's just so big in the net. I mean, these guys can't really score on him. So yeah, it's nice having him.
Now let's talk about your journey to the finals. You took on the special guest, Zach. Then you beat Saskatchewan, Saginaw, Hamilton, and Mississauga before getting here in the finals. Tell me, what kind of road was this for you?
Yeah, it was a long road. I mean, it was pretty fun for sure. Like I said, all the guys I play against are good. They were good competition. So, I'm just happy to win this thing.
And tell me, the winner of this tournament gets $1,000 to donate to their nonprofit charity. Is there any ideas of what charity you would like to donate this to?
Yeah. I was going over it with my parents. I was thinking, just 2 local charities in Medhat. That would be, nice to, donate to them for sure. So, yeah, just the local Medhat charities.
How does it feel to give back to your community in Medicine Hat?
Yeah, it feels really good. They've done so much for us, obviously, and just being able to give a little bit back helps.
Of course. And finally, is there anyone you would like to thank for helping you along this ride to winning the Memorial eCup?
I'll thank Trevor Longo on that one. We played against each other, throughout the tournament, as some of you guys know. But yeah, he was a big help for me for sure. Just he's a good competitor, obviously, and just playing with him a couple of games before, one of these games. So yeah, thanks, Trevor.
Yeah. And of course, thank you for joining me on the broadcast, and congratulations, you're a champion today, Lucas.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Lucas Faikowski, quite simply a class act. I mean, full stop right there. Tremendous young man, and couldn't be happier for him to be the first ever Memorial eCup champion. Nick, what a performance he had right from day one of this tournament. You could tell he was going to be tough to handle, and he got better as the tournament went along and the competition got tougher. He just kept upping his game.
Oh, without a doubt. And it was just a flawless run for him. He executed his game plan to perfection, getting those 8 wins that was needed for this. And again, did it in a little bit of a variety style. The offense was always there with the team. He had the defense, though, to heavily rely on. That was the one staple that remained true throughout this entire tournament. Reed, when he threw it to break, you mentioned 1 goal given up in 120 minutes of work here tonight in the best of 3 finals. That means he only allowed 7 goals in 12 games. So he brought his A game. The defense in front really deserves all the credit. Let's just go through those names as well. Baker, Clayton, Krebs, Van Imp, McNabb, and Engelman were the heroes as well in front of Mads Sogard. The man, the myth, in between the pipes for the Tigers. Faikowski, a tremendous guy as well. You just heard it, and all the best to him. And of course, it should be mentioned as well that a huge tip of the cap to everyone involved in this Memorial eCup, from the back end of the production side to all the players and participants, the 60 teams, the fans, the 4 distinguished guests we've had here. It has been quite a show this entire month. And for you guys as well, Brandon and Reed, just tremendous job throughout the entire broadcast. We appreciate everything you've done. Thanks so much for inviting me onto this. And a huge round of applause to Lucas Faikowski and the Medicine Hat Tigers for taking this one in 2020.
Well, as we start to wrap this one up, guys, I've got one more question because we now know the champion. So let's do it. Let's do MVP one more time. We've talked about it, Brandon. I'm going to start with you.
Well, the MVP of the tournament, I think, is a pretty easy choice for me. It's the goaltender, Mads Sogard. He's just phenomenal. Really makes it easy to play defense when 9 times out of 10 that puck's not going past Sogard in net. He's a huge, big body presence in that. He honestly intimidates the offense, seeing the big man move so quickly out in the ice. But this Medicine Hat team was just solid. From toes to your forehead, they know exactly what they're doing. And I just want to say it speaks to the character of Lucas. going back and donating to the charities in Medicine Hat, really hitting back in that community. That I think really speaks to the type of person he is. Not only is he good on the ice, on the virtual ice, but of course helping out his community again.
100%. Nick, for an MVP for you going Sogard as well?
You know, I could, but just since we've been talking it the entire time, we've been saying the co-MVPs. We're going to go towards Sillinger. Obviously, the defense could have done it by itself, and there's no discredit there to Sogard or anyone defensively. But the fact that Sillinger came into this tournament, top-line winger, matched up against opposing top lines, played it well, still performed, put up 5 goals today alone, and he was a part of numerous of those game-changing moments throughout this tournament. It was always seeming to be through Sillinger, so I'm going to give him the MVP run as well, but I think you could have really gone down the board with a whole lot of players for this team. Would love to be able to give each and every one of them an MVP award, but really just shows how collectively together as a unit the Medicine Hat Tigers were. And now next up, you're just going to be patiently awaiting for that championship team in the Memorial eCup to take the ice and maybe redeem themselves a little bit, go on their, or not redemption tour, go on their, making sure you could win. What's the word am I thinking of?
Looking for a victory tour.
Yeah, do a little victory lap, if you will. There we go. Thanks, guys. In terms of just running this out into the 2020-2021 season once that begins. But a great glimpse of what is, what will be for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and Lucas Faikowski behind the sticks, as you say, just played his A game all tournament long.
Well, I'll be a little bit different because we talked about the co-MVPs. I don't think he can necessarily put him as the MVP, but Lucas Faikowski. No, not the guy that Brandon just interviewed, but the virtual player. It seemed like every time the Medicine Hat Tigers needed a big goal or needed a play set up, he either scored it or had his name on that assist line. He was tremendous in this tournament as well, playing next to Cole Sillinger. So, guys, as we set this up to finish out, Nick, just your final thoughts on this tournament.
I think it just goes back to the beginning. From the 4 divisions, we've seen whittle down to the final 2. Everyone from the Telluride division, the Sorrento division, the Stinger, and the Celtos, just doing a phenomenal job representing this Memorial eCup presented by Kia. A huge tip of the cap to everyone. I love that we were able to kind of roll with the punches, if you will, for 2020. It hasn't been the easiest year for everyone, but to jump on this so quickly from the CHL and our tremendous partners and those at Vision as well for making this thing happen. Just a tremendous applause to you all as well for thinking quickly, getting this up and running, allowing for the players to still have something to fight for, kind of wrap up this weird chapter that was at the end of the 2019-2020 season. And overall, a great showing for the last 2.5, 3 weeks now as we roll into the holiday seasons. And obviously capping it off with a championship to Lucas Faikowski and all the moments, the silly ones, the tight games, the great goals, the phenomenal goaltending, the user goalies, the odd man rushes. We've had it all. We've had a great mix of everything, and it was just a tremendous event. And I'm looking forward for this to be a staple in the CHL.
Couldn't agree with you more there. Brandon, your final thoughts on what's been an incredible 3-week run.
Well, I think Nick really hit the nail on the head on that one. It's been phenomenal to really watch this unfold in front of our eyes. So many great games we got to witness, and I gotta say, a lot of strong internet. Considering how there's 64 teams, we've maybe only had like 3 glitches or so throughout this tournament. So that was also a nice little perk. And then of course the guys playing in this game, they're just phenomenal. Being able to interview them afterwards, they're all just gems. And this is something I hope becomes a staple point moving forward. And again, congratulations to Medicine Hat for winning.
I grew up wanting to be a play-by-play announcer, and I practiced for years and years playing Sega or N64 or PlayStation, muting the commentators and doing it myself. Getting a chance to sit in this chair with you guys and do this at the Memorial eCup level is just such an honor. I can't say what a great time I've had over the last 3 weeks. So I want to thank you, Nick. Thank you, Brandon. You guys were awesome to work with. To all the guys on the back end, from Philippe to Steve to Matthew, and of course, our wonderful producer, Pascal. We couldn't have done this without him. Thanks to everybody there. To the CHL and our sponsors, Kia, thank you so much. And again, my thanks to my co-hosts here in Nick Merrick and Brandon Scott. And I always finish up the last one before the holidays this way. I heard him say as he flew out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The Medicine Hat Tigers are the 2020 Memorial eCup champions, and hopefully we'll see you in 2021.
Hello, Instagram.
I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat.
1 Million Parfum, the new intensity by Paco Rabanne.